So come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. It is a lovely, do the conversion. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside today, 59, 60. The weather is beautiful. The sunshine is kind of out. It's not windy. Just amazing day. The farmer's market was gorgeous. Grabbed a bottle of the Rendezvous. It's a 2023 to celebrate Christopher's Day and for us to, again, come in, take a sip, and wind down. My name is Christopher. I'm delighted that you're here to solve this grid with me, especially on my birthday, Christopher's Day. Now, Christopher's Eve was nice, had some friends over, we had good noshing going on, a lot of salami and cheese, different cheeses, so wonderful, yum, yum, yum. Good friends, good conversation, wonderful stuff. And now, it is the actual Christopher's Day, and it's time for us to dig into a grid. But first on this Rendezvous, this is a 2023 Rendezvous. It is from Premier. It is out of the Maison Française de Qualité, and it is a Merlot Cabernet Sauvignon Belle Cuvée. And so it's not made too terribly far from here, about a 6-hour drive across the French border from here in Bavaria, and you could be standing right there in the vineyard yourself. On the nose, we're talking plums and cherries, and we're talking just boldly plum and cherry. A little bit of vanilla, some spice, I'm thinking pepper on the nose. And on the palate, of course it's dry. Got a slight hint of sweetness. Tannic. The acids do make a bold statement, but the finish is as clean as it can be. This is a lovely wine, and I think it is going to do fabulously with the Scotch eggs that I have in the oven right now as we speak. So let's do this. Let's knock a bottle of this open, and let's celebrate Christopher's Day, and let's knock out a grid. What do you say? And in wine tasting, pepper on the nose is the only time you don't have to worry about getting the sneezes out of it, so it's kind of a nice thing. So, all right, so what do we got here? We have Joe Deeney Construction, edited by Will Shorts. It is Saturday, March 8, 2025. I want to thank everybody for kindly leaving such wonderful comments yesterday. It really just warmed me up this morning when I got out of bed. It's like, wow, everybody's just so nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Let's hop into our grid, see what we got. So something extra redundantly. I'm looking forward to seeing what this answer is going to be because I do not like redundancies. So it'll be nice to see if I can either go, yeah, I concur, or no, that's the first time I thought about it. Flour used to make a chapati. Well, that's Indian bread, is it not? Like roti? Okay, well, we're going to have a tricky one then this morning. I guess it's going to be, well, this afternoon, I should say. It's already 14:30 in the afternoon. So, entry form. Watches, say. Cider mill feature. Well, I've got the letters, and I got to have something because otherwise I'll just sit around waiting on something to be really easy, and that may not ever happen. So let's go with an apple press and see if this helps us at all. Still nothing on the flour used to make a chapati. Cause of insomnia, maybe. Newly hung out to dry, say. Okay, now I'm feeling a little bit more confidence there. I was thinking, well, maybe it's not an apple press, but I think it is just yet. First name in thrill shows. Got anything else here? We'll come back. Hang and then on in parentheses. So maybe depend. Seems about right. Org symbolized by an eagle holding a key, and that would be the NSA. I actually like that logo. I'm not even sure why I do, but I do. Insignificant interruptions. I guess these could be blips. And more than team. I don't know. Let's see here. But something extra redundantly looks like it could be an added bonus. And I do agree. That's dumb. Smart could be sassy. Yes, I know. I actually encourage that behavior out of my children. Yes, talk back. Use good rhetoric. Hit me hard. Stay away from the fallacies. Let's go good here, right? Kind of a thing. Listing on many a medication bottle, perhaps uses. I don't know. Way to go. Maybe nice. More than team. Oh, I don't know. So what we got here now? Entry form. Looks like it could be a travel visa. Nicely done. Oh, I'm telling you, Joe Deeney, this is a great one. This is a good grid. I'm liking it. Watches look like they could be timepieces. So, excellent. And I guess we have Atta flower, a drip keeping us up, damp. Yeah, we kind of got that. And Evil Knievel. All right, that's good. Okay, got it. Taking a hint. Let's just go with what we've got. More than team. Harumph. Bah. As in, bah humbug. Scorching. Okay, it's probably something hotter or whatever than, I don't know. Visual classification systems. However, maybe although. Over what? Over a bound, maybe? What is this? Who's the cutest little baby? Maybe, as an example, could be a coup. And I think this might be a color. Visual classification systems, maybe color codes. Which is great, unless you're colorblind. Yeah. Key to get out. Okay. I don't know. The escape key isn't near as interesting as an ATM, right? I love what we do with ATMs as far as clues are concerned, but private agreement. How about a yes, sir? Big blanket makers. No idea. MASH actress Loretta Swit. I don't know. I hated her role in the show, and I've seen every episode of MASH that there was to see, including the movie, but I can tell you, I did like her, though, as a person. She was great, but her character, Major Margaret Houlihan, oh my lord. Bird whose name may be written with two diacritics called kahakos. Okay. Now, I'm not sure that I am 100% aware of what's up with kahakos, but I have a feeling that we're talking about something in a Polynesian thread here, right? So it immediately makes me think, okay, 4 letters. What's the state bird of Hawaii? What makes its way in? An awful lot, and I think it's a nene. And that's where I'm putting this in. Now, I don't know, but this is just a good placeholder. And if nothing's working, then I'll go back and erase it. But just using our little context clues here, right? Just a little bit at a time. And we can kind of start putting stuff together. If this is indeed correct, I'm going to be checking out what kahakos are, because I'm going to want to know, right? I don't want to just do a grid and be good with it. I want to actually learn what I've learned out of it, if that makes any sense, right? But I get a lot of questions about these things, and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and just explain how that kind of works in my mind. So, big blanket makers. Now, do you see this one in there? I absolutely love this. If it's right, I'm thinking this could be snowstorms, and that would make more sense than me trying to come up with the manufacturer of very large blankets. But Alaska King bed blankets? I don't know, right? So-called wolf of the sea, and one of the few sea creatures that scares the living bejesus out of me, the orca. Man killer, right? It is. Killer whale. Straight up. Mom is gonna flip. Oh, we're so dead. And, okay, so thinking that one might maybe inclined to do so. So inclined to a 1980s PC standard would be MS-DOS. I skipped all of that, including the precursor QDOS. Never messed with any of that stuff. We had a Trash 80 for a while there, right? A Tandy TRS 80 from Radio Shack, but I hated it. But I got an Apple computer very early on, and then I was done, just hooked on it. This might come after the check. Perfect! Checkmate. Got it. Nice. Oh, well done, Joe Deeney. I'm loving it. Ports typically reds, and as a matter of fact, I can honestly say I've never had a white port. So, pit could be a stone. And garden party outfits, often with floral patterns, and I guess we're looking for tea dresses. My wife wears those so well, but she's the queen of the moo-moo. She loves those things. She's like Mrs. Roper, right? You know, she just loves the moo-moos, and I think she looks great in them, but I mean, whatever. Animal fittingly used as a motif in The Departed, and I guess this would be the rat. And I was born in the year of the rat, in the Chinese zodiac, so always kind of held some pride with that. Scorching. Okay. So we got a 50 Cent, out of control. So what do we got here? Common component of ranch dressing, and I guess we're looking, so this looks like that's going to be a Stetson hat, and I guess we're talking about more than team would be overabound. Maybe. ¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both? One of my favorite Spanish sayings. Why not both? So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about a Stetson hat, and I've got a couple of them. So hot as what, though? So we got scorching. Hot as what? Antonym of iye in Japanese. I guess it'd be from no, so we're looking for a yes, which would be a hai. Took for a ride, maybe misled. It's a nice way to put it. Treasure could be to adore. And what do you think this might be? Hot as Hades. I mean, again, I don't think I've ever heard anybody use that expression, but it makes sense. I know I've read it a lot, right? You know, flack. Not looking so good. This could be in bad shape. Orphan of Brit Lit. Well, we got an E here. Why don't we just start off with the Jane Eyre? See what we got with that. Sweet inclusion in a greeting card, maybe. I don't know. Certain Southerner colloquially, and it looks like we've got ourselves a good old boy. Or is it going to be a good old boy? What do we got here? Flack could be heat, so I guess we've got a good old boy. Maybe we'll need to check it though, because it could be way off. Sweet inclusion in a greeting card could be a poem. So good. And poem, that's the secret word. That means it's time to drink. Okay. So, publication that once branded itself as the best of the alternative press, and I think this is the Utney reader. And if you can hear my phone going crazy, it's because, well, it's my birthday. And I'm going to get 1,000 notes, and I'm going to appreciate every one of them. It's just one of the nice things that we do for each other, we humans on occasion. So, put together haphazardly could be to rig up. And so I did a whole lot of nothing. Looks like past time, but I want to make sure that we're right here. What's added to 1 to make 0? Not a 1. How about a not a 1? Okay, very nice. Let's see. Bons vivants. It's funny. We have a channel on YouTube. It's called the gentleman bon vivant. And I think we made like 5 to maybe 8, 10 videos, just me and Shotzi, just trying to teach people who want to know how does a gentleman behave, some of the mannerisms. How do we eat? How do we dine? How do we set the table? Why do we use cloth napkins instead of paper towels, and so on and so forth. And it was just the gentleman bon vivant. And then somewhere in the process, we decided we were going to do the crossword. And then that just became the sole focus. But there is actually a channel called The Gentleman Bon Vivant where we try to tackle it, me from a gentleman's perspective and my wife from a lady's perspective, and how to be treated and what should be going on. So we passed time here, did a whole lot of nothing. An Arabic man's name meaning servant of God would be Abdi. Very nice, very clever grid. Taking our sweet time getting through it, but it's totally fine. Taking a hint. Oh, yes. Okay. Thunderbird. Areas with nosebleed seats. How the trade winds blow. And I do believe they blow east to west. I think it was always a real trial trying to get to the Far East by boat if you were sailing for Portugal or something. But on the way home, you could expect to get back pretty quick. It's like when you cross the Atlantic and you have a tailwind that's really mighty, and that 10-hour flight to Dallas from Frankfurt took, 7.5. Those are great. Until you get to the airport and it's too early to check into the business class lounge because you need to be a little bit more. That's so irritating. So areas of nosebleed seats, I don't know. Let's see. Singer Dua Lipa. Menaces in some adventure films. No idea. It could be any other thing. It could be cops. It could be anything. Company founded as Sleeper Inc. And I do believe this is Serta. And this is a way for Serta to insert themselves, right? Once again into our grids. Title with a tilde. I don't know just yet. Sheltered in a way. So this could be indoor, and that would make our title with a tilde Sauv. Sao Paulo. Ream out could be to chew out. LGBTQ activist McDonald would be CC. Scrolls homes, they belong in arcs. Unwind, so to speak, could be to rest. Now let's check ourselves on the downs and see how we might be looking. Thunderbird looks like it could be a classic car. And I guess these could be asps. So just ask Indiana Jones. Excuse me, Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones. Oh, yes. Okay, so maybe we're talking about, listen here. So taking a Kent could be clued, and areas with no nosebleed seats could be upper decks. And unless we fat-fingered something, how do we do, Bob? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to say it, though, and I mean this. I am loving this grid. I have really enjoyed it. The added bonus, couldn't agree more. Travel visas, timepieces, Apple Press, everything here was great. I'm glad that Nene worked out, because I would hate to make an example of that and it turned out to be something different, right? But I loved every part of this grid. There was really nothing that stood out to me as as a matter of fact, it was really very, very clever. I would say, Joe Deeney, you totally knocked this one out of the ballpark. This is a fabulous Saturday grid. It's exactly what someone wants when they're sitting down to do a Saturday grid. And with that, we'll bring down our Benier Dadu, and I'll just say, Joe Deeney, to you, bravo. Fantastic job. Made me happy. So to that, let's have a little sip. And I'll just close out by saying, every one of you means the world to me. I absolutely dig every bit of this journey that we are taking together, both on the New York Times side and on the Guardian Quick side. I see a lot of people who came on board doing the New York Times with me, commenting on that, or also commenting now over on The Guardian. I think people are finding out that it is actually a very tricky grid to get into, especially if you don't speak British vernacular. And so it's always kind of cool to learn a new phrase or new whatever in these grids, and I think that's fabulous. But each and every one of you means the world to me, and I appreciate that so much. If there's any improvements you would like to see to the grid, to the channel, you got to just send me a note. If you don't want to make it so public, you can send me an email or you can send me a note on Insta. It's up to you, but I'm happy. You can find us on TikTok. I mean, you can send me a note any way you want to. I have some folks that find me on Facebook, and I'm fine with that too. Just friend me on Facebook, and you can send me instant messages. It is totally cool. But shoot me your notes. Shoot me your ideas for ways to improve. I want to make sure that this format, that this delivery is what you need and what works for you. Not only if it's entertaining, but maybe you're working on your English, or maybe you're trying to get better at grid solving, or maybe you're just trying to have a little something in the background that's maybe, entertaining or whatnot as you go about your normal routine. Either way, let me know what we can do to improve. It means the world to me to do that, and I will bend over backwards if I can. So, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag, and until tomorrow, be good to yourselves, your friends, your neighbors, but be especially kind to that person behind you in the line. We will see you on the morrow for the Sunday grid. I'll catch you all for that big, ginormous thing in the morning. Be well.